Now it's time for relationships, and we have Olaiwola Abiola. Our topic today is how to handle hard times as a couple. It's great to have you. You're welcome.
Good morning. It's good to be
All
here
right.
once again.
So when you say hard times, what kind of hard times are we talking about here? Because there can be emotional hard times, there can be financial hard times, there can be, the hard times can come in different ways and all of that. So when you say hard times, what exactly do you mean by these
Well,
hard
when we're
times?
talking about hard time generally simply means difficulties, times of difficult times, especially financially.
Okay.
Times people are going through issue in their health. Now, life generally is a summation of seasons, a summation of driven times.
Okay.
So there are times things are well, things are going fine, but to a very large extent, other times things are also going downtown.
So we're looking at it generally. So financially, health-wise, and all emotionally and all of that.
Generally.
Career-wise also. Okay, so let's get to it. How these times do come, they will happen.
Yes.
How do you go about handling it?
One thing about our times are real. Our times are real, and our times also come when one season has come to a point where, okay, let me put it this way. Life generally, as I said, is a summation of seasons. Seasons come, season goes. So there are times that someone has actually overstayed a particular season. And when you are not aware, not discerning, for example, increasing capacity in terms of, let's pick career, for example. Increasing capacity, you've been in a particular level for some time. Now, a lot of disruptions come in your own particular field. Let's speak as somebody that used to be an area cameraman doing movies. These days, sometimes they don't use helicopters, cameraman anymore. They use drones. Now, when those people in that field are laid off, that's somebody's husband, that's somebody's wife, that's somebody's father, that's somebody's son or whatever. So it eventually affects their finances. Let's speak issue of health. At times, somebody has been taking up a particular lifestyle, eventually to culminate in, let's say, for example, you've been living a very unhealthy lifestyle in terms of maybe tobacco, alcohol, and things like that, in a way that's actually impacting on your health. Eventually, it's going to come to a point where you're going to have issues. So what we are looking at now, as couple, what do you do? Because whether you like it or not, our times will come. Situation will come. Our times are times that are not your doing at all. It's just part of life. So when these things come, what do you do? So these are the things that I'm concerned with about, because when in sessions we see couples come, and many couples have come to a point where their relationship come to a halt. Some even get to a point where they separate. For another issue, for example, not having the fruit of the womb. You are believing God for a child, and it's not forthcoming. So what do you do? Nobody go to the hall and say, as we are getting married, though, you are going to have a financial problem. No pastor, no imam, no family member pray that for you. But it's part of life. They do happen. So what do you do when such things happen? So the whole idea here is to look at it that holistically and say, look, whether I like it or not, this season will come, and I must strive. Relationship itself, marriage is supposed to be a platform for companionship, where when you come into my life, during those seasons of life, in the good, the bad, and the terrible seasons of life, you are there as my back, as my cheerleader, as somebody that can give the necessary support system. But when people do not understand these things, at times can either throw people away, put them to isolation, or bring oneness. So those are the things I'm looking at.
Okay, so how exactly now? Let's look at it practically now.
Okay.
Going through these times, like you said, some relationships really do break up at this particular point in time. How exactly, with health, with finances, with how exactly in these different scenarios, how exactly do you deal with it as a couple?
No, number one, couples must see themselves as a team. Most of the time, people tend to drift apart when our times come. Rather than doing that, you see yourself as a team. You are not against each other. You are not your couple's enemy. You are supposed to work together as a team to find a solution. Then number two, another thing you need to do is to quickly address any underlying issues. Most of the reason people have hard times is also because there are underlying issues people are having. They've been having communication breakdown. Some have not been having a very rosy relationship. So when you do that, it creates a lot of resentment and bitterness. These scenarios create the platform for difficult situations to thrive. But when the man and his wife, or the wife and husband, when they come together and they have this sense of we are a team, we are together, we have to work together. If there are any underlying issues, let's deal with those issues. When you deal with those issues, it will give you the necessary energy. Because when there are issues that you have not dealt with, you begin to dissipate your energy in different directions and will not be able to come together as a unit, as a force, to address the issues you are going through.
All right.
Another thing I also want to say is that they should also look out for what they call support system, community.
Should I meet outside them?
Outside them. Okay. Generally, you don't do life alone. There's this saying that says kings don't fight alone. You can see Russia today is receiving help from China, Ukraine is receiving. So in life realities, you don't fight life battles alone. You don't deal with difficult issues alone. There are times that the issues are beyond your capacity. So when you have community, for example, some people have community around religious folks, some have community among associations and things like friends, people that can influence you, that can give you the necessary partner. But look, things will get better, things will be fine. You don't need to throw in the towel. Go ahead, things will get better. Family members. And also seeking professional help so that you can see things from a better perspective. Because when you are in the issue, you have what they call incongruence. You are going to be having negative perspective about what you're going. Because most of the time, the issue itself is not the issue, it's the perspective you hold, the meaning, the definition you give to that issue. So when you see the positives in the issue you are going through, it will help going through hard and difficult times.
Thank you so much. That was quite something. I hope people can pick up from there. Like you said, understanding that you are there for each other, you're a team, and also outside support.
Yeah,
when there are issues.
Find support system, community.
Wonderful community. I like that. That's something that they can pick. Thank you so much for this today. I know it's always very short, but I know we'll have more of this as the month progresses.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Okay, that's it. I hope you're able to pick something there. We'll take a time out now and we'll get back. It's our final guest of the day.